You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, authorities in one Missouri town respond to a crash into a restaurant.
Also, a Commerce Elementary School honors a 10-year-old student with a special memorial bench.
And take a look at that sunrise. Another beautiful start to what is a cold morning across the 4 states. We will warm up later this afternoon. Got to look at your forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's just after 7 a.m. on this Wednesday, October 22nd. Happy Wednesday to everybody. And I know the temperature changes, of course, messing with everybody out there. But at least fall is here finally, and we will talk a little more about that in just a moment. But Mariah Carey, of course, defrosting right now ahead of the holiday season, but somebody else looking to join her in this.
Yeah, a pop superstar will spread holiday cheer across theaters this December, and a global mogul redesigns her world.
Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has all of the latest in today's Hollywood Nation.
Aguilera gets festive, Hilton redesigns her life, and Domingo heads to Oz in the Hollywood Nation. Colman Domingo will be the voice of the Cowardly Lion in Wicked for Good. The Oscar and Tony-nominated actor joins the star-studded sequel featuring Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba and Ariana Grande as Glinda. The casting news, first teased by director John M. Chu, was confirmed by Domingo on Instagram. The film will also feature familiar faces from Oz, including Dorothy, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow, though the actors playing the characters haven't been revealed. It hits theaters November 21st.
I'm so excited to Parisize this room.
Paris Hilton is taking on a new design mission. She's launching Inclusive by Design, a 3-part YouTube series following her as she creates a home and workspace tailored to her ADHD. Produced by her 1111 media company, the show premieres Wednesday during ADHD Awareness Month. Hilton calls it a personal project aimed at showing how intentional design can support focus and creativity.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Christina Aguilera is bringing her holiday magic to the big screen. Her concert film, Christina Aguilera, Christmas in Paris, will play in U.S. theaters for 2 nights only, December 14th and 21st. The event celebrates the 25th anniversary of her holiday album, My Kind of Christmas, and features an intimate, immersive performance filmed in Paris beneath a shimmering Eiffel Tower turned Christmas tree.
Merry Christmas.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
It's interesting to see how these 90s and early 2000s pop stars, from Christina Aguilera to Mariah Carey, are really trying to get into that holiday spirit.
Okay, I'm glad you went that route. I'm like, are you trying to say that they're getting old? Because, I'm a 90s something.
No, they're magical. They're bringing
Okay, all right, then listen, for those of you, Tim in the back, Tim, we're magical.
I didn't say I said Christina Aguilera and Mariah Carey were.
It doesn't matter. We grew up we grew up watching these people. Okay, maybe not Christina Aguilera specifically, but you get the idea. All right, we're magical. And you know what else is magical?
This weather?
Yes, sure, why not? Take a look outside. See, that was magical, wasn't it? I say, look outside, and all of a sudden, there it is. That's because actually Tim's magical. Tim's in the back. Tim's magical because I say things, and then Tim makes it happen like it is magic because I can say, Tim, I want a dog back here. I'm kidding. It takes a minute to put a dog back there, but he could do it. If I gave him some prep work, he's telling me, no dogs today, no dogs today. But we do have this beautiful sunrise. Take a look. These guys, I'm sure they are well bundled up, man. They're making a lot of progress there, but it is pretty cold this morning. In fact, we're a lot colder this morning than what I was expecting us to be. Maybe not a lot, but we are seeing a few more upper 30s than what I was expecting. Our camera 7th in Rangeline, another great view of that sunrise. MoDOT camera 20th in Rangeline, looking back to the north, and we've got all those headlights and taillights and everything as folks get this chilly Wednesday underway. Now, our future track, it's not as breezy today, which will certainly be nice. We'll have west winds around 5 to 10. We're clear, and even though we're colder this morning for many of us, This is the other part of the magic, I suppose. We're actually going to be a little above normal for our highs later today. But look at these temperatures, man. It is something. Look at all these upper 30s. I figured we'd have 2, maybe 3. But we've got most of the area into the upper 30s to start this day. It looks like, again, Neodesha Parsons, you guys, you took the lead yesterday. You're taking the lead again today. You're in the colder spots at 35. The warmest we can muster is 41 in a number of, Bentonville, 43, the warm spot. But again, a pretty cold start ahead of a warm day. Be near 50 by 9, near 70 by noon, low mid 70s for our highs. Again, those west winds 5 to 10, sunny skies. Pretty decent day once we start to warm up out there. We're warm again tomorrow. Then those rain chances start working in from tomorrow night into the weekend. We're going to break down those details for you here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Free home improvements help Missouri families save on heating bills. As temperatures begin to drop, the Joplin-based Economic Security Corporation's Weatherization Department continues to assist low-income families in reducing their energy costs. Eligible households throughout Southwest Missouri can request work to be done on their homes, which can include door and window replacement, as well as insulation installment.
We try to make people more comfortable in their homes. You know, we try to seal up their homes to save them money so they're able to afford more food or medication rather than having to spend it on utility bills.
The services are currently in high demand with about 200 on the waiting list. The organization still encourages those interested to fill out an application on their website. A Commerce Elementary School honors a 10-year-old student who died in an ATV accident in April. The family dedicated a memorial bench outside the school in honor of Easton Freeman. The bench showcased some of Easton's favorite things, including fishing and also his love of Thomas the Tank Engine. It may sound like Halloween fun, but unfortunately, it's the name of a new scam. Previously, debit and credit card scams required physical contact, but ghost tapping gets rid of that. This new scam takes advantage of tap-to-pay credit cards and mobile wallets, according to the Better Business Bureau. While the payment methods for tap-to-pay are generally safe, scanners can exploit it in crowded spaces or distracting situations. Once a scammer has your information, they may only make small transactions to avoid you noticing right away.
For example, some scammers that are utilizing this tapping scam will set up as a fake vendor and then try to talk you into a small purchase. You may think you spent $10 and then find out on the back end they charged not only the $10 but additional amounts of money or even larger than the $10 amount.
Here's how to protect yourself from ghost tapping. When at any event like flea markets or festivals, make sure you always see the business name and transaction amount before tapping your card. Then after any big gathering, keep an eye on your bank account for suspicious charges. Also, consider using wallets or sleeves for your credit cards with radio frequency identification or RFID protection. It can help stop wireless skimming. A major security scare at the world's busiest airport in Atlanta, where police say they stopped a likely attacker. Authorities say the suspect, Billy Cagle, was checking out TSA security when he was stopped and arrested. Police found a semi-automatic rifle with dozens of rounds in his car. Police were canvassing for him after his family called 911 less than 30 minutes earlier. Authorities respond to a fatal crash in Carthage yesterday afternoon. The crash happened just before 3 on Oak and McGregor Streets. Authorities say 3 vehicles were involved. One passenger was airlifted from the parking lot of Memorial Hall. Last night, police confirmed the crash was fatal. One driver has been detained on suspicion of DWI. This is a developing story. You can find more information on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, as it becomes available. Authorities release information regarding an early Monday morning crash into a restaurant. Reports say a semi-truck slammed into a Burger King in St. Robert, Missouri. Authorities report no injuries to staff or the semi-driver, but caution the public to stay away from the area for safety's sake. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, we'll have Will Morris in the studio for Wildcat Wednesday. And later, breakthrough research reveals a major decline in childhood peanut allergies. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Well, it's Wildcat Wednesday, which you know that means we have Will Morris from K-State Research and Extension here today. He was here a couple weeks ago where he told us a little bit about the beginning of the 4-H season, but now you have something that you're kind of encouraging kids to start that they can look on at the end of the year.
Yeah, so with our new 4-H year beginning October 1st, it's something that we always say kind of begin with the end in mind. Every year 4-H members turn in a record book, just like this one. This one was just turned in from our previous 4-H year. And there's a lot that goes into these, and one of the things that we have to always think about is what are your goals for a 4-H project that year. So this one was done by a young lady named Harper who did the Shopping in Style project, where she has a whole list of goals in here of things that she wanted to accomplish and how she was going to go about those throughout the entire year. And this would be the same for whatever 4-H project that any sort of youth may have. So we're all about skills development and knowledge development. And if you start with the end in mind and create those goals, then you have some things to work toward as you get into, just the busyness of the day-to-day life as you go throughout the 4-H year.
Amazing. I know you were talking to us a little bit about Harper's project, but as you were saying, really any 4-H student, this is something that is great for them to reflect on at
Absolutely,
the end.
yes. So they'll go through their year, they'll have goals, there's different citizenship, leadership things that go into these, and then they have a reflection piece where kids will actually look at their year. Did they achieve the goals that they wanted to? Did they set out to attend everything that they planned to attend? Did they have the success that they wanted? And, what would they have done differently? And they put that all in here, and then they actually open themselves up to some feedback and criticism potentially at the end of the year when these are actually judged against other youth within that project area.
Great. Why is this sort of reflection, as the year goes on, why is that so important for these kids?
Yeah, so as we kind of go through, life, we get busy. We want to make sure that as a youth development organization, we are providing that opportunity for these kids to be able to grow and learn from their experiences. And this is one way that we help do that. And record keeping is important. We do it in our day-to-day life when it comes to, bills or different things like that. You have to keep track of things, and this helps teach is a viable skill for our youth.
I know so many of the youth who participate in 4-H, they do it year after year because it's something they love and they're so passionate about. So it sounds like a great thing about this sort of project is, as the years go on and they do these different projects, this will be something that they can look back on in years to come even. Oh yes, I get stories all the time, of parents that their kids are in 4-H now and they look back at even their old record books that they had from years ago so their kids can see, what they were doing in the projects and what 4-H was like at that point in time. To get ideas and kind of look at the history of it all. And it's really great to be able to pull these out as adults and look back and see what you did. So it's a great memory as well. Well, thank you so much, Will. You can always find more information about 4-H in the K-State Research and Extension Office on our website. We have a lot of those resources. You can also find it there. You can see that website on the screen. That's for the Wildcat District at kstate.edu. So thank you again so much, Will, for joining us for Wildcat Wednesday.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Our time now is 7:18 on this Wednesday morning. We're starting with the future track report today. Even though we've got a pretty cold start this morning, we're actually going to be just a few degrees above normal by this afternoon. We'll have west winds at about 5 to 10 miles an hour and clear skies out there, so not a bad day by any means, and thankfully not nearly as windy as we've been the last few days, last couple of days really. As we go into the overnight hours, winds will be calm, skies remain clear. In fact, for a good portion of our Thursday, skies are clear. Winds will shift out of the east on Thursday, still at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. However, as we head into the evening, clouds will begin to increase across the area slowly but surely, and then our rain chances will begin to increase as well, and we'll start to have some initially isolated to widely scattered shower and thunderstorm chances building in after 10 o'clock. So we're stopping here at 11. See, not much out there. And a quick reminder as well, we did have that level 1 out of 5 severe threat, so that low end severe risk for roughly this area here. It's been removed, and I told you that we were just on that northeastern corner. It stretched back off to the west. It's it's been completely removed and pushed way further south. So it just goes into what we talked about yesterday. We start looking at a setup for severe weather, which is good because we certainly don't need it. We do need the rain, as some of these storms, especially as we head into the Friday and the upcoming weekend, could produce heavy rain at times. So overnight, shower and thunderstorm coverage should begin to increase. So by about 2 o'clock, you can see Yates Center, Fredonia, Coffeyville, all the way back toward Miami, Pittsburgh, starting to work into Joplin, Nowata, and back toward, I said Coffeyville, but Independence. We get the showers, storms increasing in coverage. And as we get our Friday underway, I know we always tell you when thunder roars, head indoors, but I also know at the same time, this is the point in which we're heading out, so make sure you've got an umbrella. Make sure you're taking precautions. Like I said, no severe weather, but the lightning's still dangerous. And again, also be wary of the heavy rain. Some of these storms could dump quite a bit of rain in a short time, and so flash flooding is a bit of a concern that we'll be watching as we head through the first half of our Friday. Shower storms continue through mid-morning into the afternoon, and then they'll gradually wind down just a bit as we go later into the evenings. Now we've got isolated to widely scattered showers, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder, so we shouldn't have a significant impact on Friday night football, but could be a bit on the damp side. But then rain chances as we go into the morning Saturday will ramp back up again, giving us scattered showers and storms once again throughout the day on Saturday. I know again this Saturday we have the Heart Walk. We also have the Missouri Southern Homecoming Parade. I know there's a number of other things probably going on in the 4 states. So if you're doing anything outdoors, like I said, severe weather is not a concern, but there could be some lightning, and more so just expect it to be pretty rainy, and some of these showers could be pretty heavy at times. Today though, that sunrise looks absolutely beautiful from 7th and Range Line. We're low 40s to start. We'll go low 60s by 11 o'clock this morning. Eventually, as I mentioned, our highs a little above normal, not 10 to 15 degrees above normal like they were in the first half of this month, just a little, low mid 70s. West winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we head into the evening, clear skies continue, so we're back to seasonable levels tonight, mid 40s. Those winds will be calm. Now into the weekend, because we have showers and storms, we have the cloud cover, our overnight lows will be a little milder, and that's just because that warm air is going to get trapped in under those clouds. We'll go low 70s Thursday, low 50s for the low, but then take a look. 53 approximately. Okay, remember we have a huge coverage area, but 53 Thursday night, 59 Friday, back down to 52 Friday night. So not a lot of movement in these temperatures. A little cooler into the weekend as well. Upper 50s, low 60s. Rain should start gradually coming to a close on Sunday. Monday, pretty average day, looks pretty good. And we get a few additional rain chances next Tuesday. And as we head toward Halloween, not looking cold, but definitely chilly. Upper 50s, low 60s by day, into the 40s by night. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Topping today's Health Watch. How antidepressants affect the body can vary widely based on which one you take. A study in The Lancet found different drugs impact a patient's heart rate, blood pressure, and weight in different ways. For example, some common antidepressants are linked to weight gain, while others are linked to weight loss. But researchers stress these findings shouldn't deter people from taking antidepressants. Important information for people who track their daily steps. The Mass Journal Brigham study found older women who took 4,000 steps just once or twice a week had a 27% lower risk for cardiovascular disease and a 26% lower risk of death. Notably, the health benefits were linked to how many steps were taken rather than how many days a person was active. New evidence about the health benefits of a mother's touch. A Cochrane's review of previous studies found newborns who have skin-to-skin contact with their mother in the first hour after birth have more successful breastfeeding and optimal body temperatures and blood sugar levels. Skin-to-skin contact keeps infants warm and reduces stress, helping them adapt to life outside the womb. Nearly a decade after a groundbreaking peanut allergy study, researchers say exposing young babies to peanut products early could help prevent the development of a potentially deadly allergy down the road. Fox's Ted Linder has more.
Could a peanut a day keep the deadly allergies away? Parents were long advised to wait until their children were 3 years old to introduce them to peanuts and other foods that could trigger allergies. But a landmark 2015 study suggested otherwise, and it's proving to be effective.
If we actually introduce that allergen to children by mouth, having them eat it, before they're introduced to it via their skin, we can reduce the risk that child's going to go on to develop the food allergy itself.
When a child with the allergy consumes a peanut, their immune system reacts to the protein, which can trigger various symptoms, including hives, respiratory symptoms, and sometimes life-threatening anaphylaxis. Nearly a decade later, a new study published in the journal Pediatrics shows the number of children with peanut allergies has sharply declined.
This is probably the biggest public health success in allergy in the modern era.
Researchers analyzed health record data for about 40,000 children and found that peanut allergies dropped by 43%.
They were randomized to either early peanut introduction or normal peanut introduction. And what the authors found is that the rate of peanut allergy was significantly lower.
This isn't just a win for peanut allergies, though. New early introduction guidelines have dramatically impacted food allergy rates as a whole.
There's about 60,000 less kids with food allergy today than there would have been. For the first time in modern history, not only have we reduced the rate of food allergy diagnoses, but we're actually lower than we were 5 years ago.
I'm Ted Lindner, Fox News.
All right, and we've got a pretty decent day lined up for us. Cold start out there, beautiful sunrise though, and then a little warmer this afternoon. We'll have another look at your forecasts when we come back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. I'm Samantha Walker. Still no breakthrough in sight to end the government shutdown, which is in its third week now. Both sides are holding firm as Republicans refuse to negotiate with Democrats over Obamacare. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor has the latest from Washington.
President Donald Trump greeted by a round of applause from GOP senators attending his Rose Garden lunch Tuesday, an opportunity for Republicans to show they're united as the government shutdown drags on.
Today I'm calling on every Senate Democrat to stop the madness, to let our country get back. In the greatest moment in the history of our country in terms of wealth, these guys go on strike. It's really a shame.
We are going to keep voting to open up the government, and eventually the Democrats, hopefully sooner or later, are going to come around.
But it doesn't look like that will happen anytime soon. Democrats are adamantly withholding their votes until Republicans agree to extend expiring health insurance subsidies.
There's nothing far left or far right or center about wanting lower premiums. It's common sense. It's what the American people overwhelmingly want.
But Republican lawmakers and the White House aren't willing to negotiate until the government reopens.
Republicans have nothing to offer to Democrats who are using this for their own selfish political purposes. Plain and simple, that's what it is.
Even from the president.
The president has nothing to offer them.
In the meantime, hundreds of thousands of federal workers have been furloughed, and the FAA says travelers are feeling the impact with delays and staffing shortages at major U.S. airports. The Senate plans to take a vote later this week to pay essential employees during the shutdown, but it's not clear it has the votes to pass. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got an absolutely beautiful sunrise out there, as you can see from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh, but it is a bit on the cold side this morning. Our camera 7th in range line also looking pretty good as well. We'll head over to the MoDOT camera 20th in range line. Also, clear skies overhead, but again, a cold start to the day. However, even though this is one of our coldest starts so far, it is going to be a little warmer today, a little above average as we head into the afternoon. Clear skies will continue. Thankfully, we're not looking at the super gusty winds like we've seen the last couple of days. We'll have west winds at about 5 to 10 miles an hour before they ease up and become calm overnight tonight. Look at these temperatures, though. A lot more upper 30s than what we were originally expecting. Some low 40s out there. Cassville, Bentonville, the warmer spots both at 43. And then we've got, looks like Neodesha and Chanute. 36, 35 in Parsons is the cool spot. It's a lot of numbers. That's a lot of 30s out there. So make sure you bundle up, but make sure whatever you're bundling up with is easy to store because it will be warmer later. We're near 50 by 9, near 70 by noon. Clear skies again. Low mid 70s for our highs, so not significantly above average like we saw earlier this month where we're 10 to 15 degrees above average. We're only going about 5, 8 degrees above normal. And we'll have those west winds 5 to 10. Now we'll have another warm day tomorrow. The shower and thunderstorm chances begin increasing tomorrow night into the weekend. Details on that here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Thanks, Chris. Class LTD celebrated 50 years of dedicated service to individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities in Southeast Kansas. Class hosted an open house and business after hours event last night at their administrative office in Columbus to mark the milestone. The organization's service area includes Cherokee, Crawford, Labette, and Montgomery counties, providing each a wide range of services designed to help individuals achieve independence, community inclusion, acceptance, and individual rights.
The big reason for the open house is to celebrate the tremendous accomplishment of Class being in their communities for 50 years. It also gives us the opportunity to re-engage with some former employees, former longtime staff members who have been here today. It gives us the opportunity for some of our individuals to be part of that as well.
The celebration continues at Pitt State, where Class Ltd. will host a holiday ball auction on November 15th. Well, starting November 1st, there'll be a new law in effect in Oklahoma. The new law will have enhanced punishment for anyone seen using their cell phones in a school zone or construction zone. This law is designed to help drivers pay attention in these areas. Miami Police Chief says there's a primary offense and officers will be on the lookout for phones. Millions of families across the country depend on SNAP benefits to put food on the table. But with the federal government and shutdown still in effect, officials say those benefits may not arrive next month. KOAM's Blake Gully explains how the change could affect families across the 4 states.
I do receive food stamps, but I do work.
As a single mom, Desiree Huber depends on federally funded programs like SNAP to help feed her growing family. She understands some people may abuse the system, but says for many the support is essential.
There's also people who genuinely need it, who actually need it to provide for their families, because those who are on Social Security, disability, and who are disabled can't go out and get jobs to be able to provide for their families. And you know, I grew up on SNAP, and I use SNAP to benefit towards my family as well, because like I said, sometimes, you know, the cost of living has went up.
In a statement to KOAM, Bailey Watts, media director for the Missouri Department of Social Services, says, "We understand how difficult this situation is for Missouri families who rely on SNAP benefits to meet their food needs. DSS encourages SNAP participants to look at the potential of stretching their October balance into November if possible." Here at Cross Lines Ministries in Joplin, families turn for help when they're in need. And with the government shutdown and SNAP benefits being paused for November, the line will likely get longer. Ozark Food Harvest is preparing for that increase.
So suddenly not having access to those benefits is going to leave a gigantic shortfall in their grocery budget. So it's incredibly important to support food banks like Ozark's Food Harvest, as well as local pantries like Crosslines Joplin right now, because they're going to see that influx of need.
State officials say they'll resume issuing SNAP benefits as soon as federal funding is restored. Reporting in Joplin, Blake Gully, KOAM News.
That's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, Netflix's most popular film ever gets the toy treatment as K-pop Demon Hunters racks up 325 million views. In Consumer Watch, OpenAI has unveiled Atlas, its new web browser that's poised to take on Google Chrome. The company says the search engine is built with ChatGPT in its core, with settings that allow the browser to remember previous chats and searches. One key feature, Agent Mode, allows the system to click through the internet for users. Atlas already launched for Mac laptop users, with versions for Microsoft, Apple iPhone, and Google Android coming soon. 9 in 10 Americans say they don't plan on waiting until they turn 70 to collect Social Security, according to a new study by investment firm Schroders. Recipients that delay receiving benefits for 3 years past the full retirement age of 67 can get a 30% bump in monthly payments. Schroders says some people decide not to delay payments if their retirement accounts aren't enough to cover expenses, and also over concerns that Social Security funds may not be there if they wait. And Netflix is looking to capitalize on the success of its K-pop Demon Hunters film. The company says it's inked a licensing partnership with Mattel and Hasbro to develop toys, games, and other merchandise based on the breakout movie's characters. Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters is its most popular film of all time, racking up 325 million views globally in just over 3 months. The price of silver pulls back this morning after a big rise, and analysts are split on it. That's a positive sign for the economy. Meanwhile, producers of the metal are having a tough time keeping up with demand. Fox News correspondent Linda Hu joins us at the Silver Mint in Dallas with more.
Everyday silver in some cases into investment grade silver bars, and that process starts here with melting down the silver and removing all the impurities, mixing it with water, and the process produces this pure silver grains that are then taken by robots over here, poured into molds and sent into an oven that's heated up to 1200 degrees Celsius. That melts the silver down and creates the investment quality bars that are then stamped with the appropriate certifications. Silver prices have been skyrocketing this year, and that's creating a lot of demand from investors.
We're seeing more sellers than we are buyers, but now we're running into a problem where we can't come up with enough product to meet the demand. Hence, our process for minting our own products will bring a lot of relief to us.
Silver prices have climbed 76% year to date as of yesterday. Gold prices also climbing 65% higher on the year. There is a little bit of a pullback today, but why are we seeing this big picture run up in precious metal prices? A couple of reasons. There are questions about the global economy. There are some concerns about the dollar losing its value, and some analysts say there's a little bit of FOMO here with the run up in prices. Some people worry that they're going to miss it, and so they're still buying in. And analysts at Bank of America say there is still room to run. We could see gold prices next year, they say, hitting $5,000 and silver prices hitting $65 an ounce. Reporting from Dallas, Lydia Hu for Fox Business.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:45 now on this Wednesday morning. Future track for today looking pretty good. And even though we've got a pretty cold start this morning, we will be a little warmer by this afternoon and not nearly as windy, which is also good. Winds will ease up actually overnight. Not like they're going to be breezy today, but we will see them go calm overnight. As we roll into Thursday, they switch out of the east. And as we head into Thursday, late afternoon into the early evening, clouds will begin to increase, as do our rain chances. Now, initially, it starts after 10, and we've just got isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. And again, we did have that 1 out of 5 severe risk yesterday. It's gone. It's been completely removed out of the region it was in. It's been pushed much further south, which really honestly jives with kind of what we were looking at yesterday. We just don't really have the ingredients for severe weather, which is good, but we do need some rain. The problem is some of these storms, as we go overnight and into Friday, could produce some heavy rain. So do be wary of their, be cautious or aware of that, simply because flash flooding could become a concern here and there, as some of these storms could drop quite a bit of rain in short amounts of time. As we go in to start our commute on Friday, we've got thunderstorms across a good portion of the area. Again, nothing severe, but you want to watch out for that lightning. Make sure you're taking appropriate precautions heading out to the bus stop or the office or whatever the case may be. Showers and storms will remain widespread through a good portion of the morning. It'll be the afternoon, early evening. They do become a bit more isolated to widely scattered in nature, so shouldn't be looking at any major impacts for Friday night football in terms of rain. But then as we head into Saturday morning and through the day on Saturday, we start to see those shower and thunderstorm chances increasing again. And as I've mentioned, the Missouri Southern Homecoming Parade is Saturday. We have the Heart Walk on Saturday, so just things to keep in mind. Well, we're not expecting severe weather, which is good. We could get some thunderstorms, could get some heavy rain. Just need to make sure you're staying prepared. And of course, if you're outdoors when thunder roars, head indoors. That's a safe bet there. Sunrise from 7th and Rangeline looks good. Those colors just blend together so nicely out there. Again, a bit chilly, but seasonably chilly. Low 40s to start. Make the low 60s by 11 o'clock this morning. And while our temperatures will be above normal today, we're not talking like earlier this month where we were, 10, 15, almost 20 degrees above normal. We're only talking about 5 to 7, 5 to 8 degrees above average as we go into the low to mid 70s. Clear skies and a west breeze at 5 to 10. Not gusting 30 or 40 miles an hour like we saw the last couple of days. So that's good. Again, winds ease up through the evening, and we'll eventually have those winds be calm. Clear skies overnight, keeping us seasonable as we go into the mid-40s for our overnight lows. So again, not too bad. Now, the thing is, our overnight lows the next few nights are actually going to be pretty far above normal, and that's because we get the clouds from the rain, and then that warm air gets trapped, and that's why we have these mild nights. So we have some 50s, low 50s the next few nights after tonight. but that's just because of the clouds. Because look at our highs, though. Look at the difference. Not much difference between our lows and our highs because of the rain. Starts building in. Low 70s tomorrow ahead of those shower and storm chances. Upper 50s, low 60s all the way through the weekend. Eventually, rain will start to gradually come to an end on Sunday, leaving our Monday looking pretty good and actually fairly seasonable as well into the upper 60s. And then more showers, a few thunderstorms possible as we head into Tuesday out there. And after that, as we head into Halloween, not bitterly cold, which is good, but definitely chilly. We're looking at highs, upper 50s, low 60s, and we'll be dropping into the 40s overnight. So if you're trick-or-treating, just make sure you're staying warm out there as well. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
As Halloween approaches, pet costumes are becoming a major trend, with nearly 2/3 of pet owners planning to dress up their animals.
But experts warn without proper preparation, Halloween can be more frightening than fun for your pets.
Gary Baumgarten reports on the safety tips every pet owner should know before the big night.
Halloween is just around the corner.
Happy Halloween!
A survey conducted by pet service company Rover says about 65% of pet parents plan to dress up their dog or cat. To prepare for the holiday, professional pet trainers are sharing some safety tips to keep things from getting too spooky.
We don't want to be on Halloween day the first time we're putting our pet's costume on our pet.
Whether your pet is dressed up in a costume to help you pass out candy or to go out trick-or-treating with the kids, it's important to make sure they're comfortable.
Sometimes costumes are really tight right here under that arm area or here along the chest. We want to make sure they can easily extend their legs, walk, move, and it's not going to hurt them in some way.
If your pet is helping you greet trick-or-treaters, experts say be aware of their surroundings at all times.
If a child drops the candy, is your Labrador going to go snatch that piece of chocolate?
You also need to consider other noisy elements that might give them a fright.
Ringing that doorbell over and over can be stressful to our pets. Sit in your driveway, sit in your porch, sit on your front step to kind of limit that stress on our animals.
And if your kids go out to trick-or-treat, remind them of how to handle their candy safely around their furry siblings when they get home.
If we're eating candy, being careful with our wrappers and our food, we want to make sure they're not going to eat it because it smells delicious.
If you're still looking for a trendy and safe costume idea, consider dressing up your canine or feline friend as Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, or President Donald Trump. I'm Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
Interesting.
I'm not even going to try to attempt to dress up my cats because I feel like they would maul me to death in the process of doing so.
Yeah, the cats are a different challenge than dogs. Dogs get really, they like fun stuff most of the time, as long as you do it cautiously, like they said. But cats, on the other hand, man, sometimes they don't see the fun in it at all. They get more fun out of scratching you to death.
Yeah, but they're sweethearts. But my black cat named Binks, already has a Halloween name and already looks like a Halloween cat, so it's fine.
That works out. Dan, Speaking of Halloween, it's going to be a bit chilly, which we'll discuss a little later. First, though, today and into tomorrow, we're looking good. We have clear skies, west winds today, 5 to 10. Tomorrow, they'll shift out of the east at 5 to 10. And then we have clouds increasing later in the evening. And as we go after 10 o'clock, initially isolated to widely scattered showers and storms. Those become more widespread as we head through Friday morning. Nothing strong, nothing severe, but some heavy rain possible, so just be prepared for that. Now look at your forecast and your Wake Up Recap right after this.
This is your Wake Up Recap for Wednesday, October 22nd. Your top stories to start your day. Authorities respond to a fatal crash in Carthage yesterday afternoon. The crash happened just before 3 on Oak and McGregor Streets. Authorities say 3 vehicles were involved. 1 passenger was airlifted from the parking lot of Memorial Hall. Last night, police confirmed the crash was fatal. 1 driver has been detained on suspicion of DWI. This is a developing story. You can find more information on our website, KOAMNewsNow.com, as it becomes available. Authorities released information regarding an early Monday morning crash into a restaurant. Reports say a semi-truck slammed into a Burger King in St. Robert, Missouri. Authorities report no injuries to staff or the semi-driver, but caution the public to stay away from the area out of safety's sake. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And we've got a slightly warmer day, even though we are colder to start. We'll go low mid-70s, so just a bit above average. Clear skies, west winds 5 to 10, so not as breezy. Clear through the evening and into the overnight, mid-40s out there with calm winds. We'll have east winds tomorrow 5 to 10. Some shower thunderstorms begin building in after 10 o'clock, and then they'll continue to increase in coverage overnight through Friday. A break late Friday, more showers, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder into the weekend, upper 50s, low 60s. No severe weather expected, but the homecoming parade from Missouri Southern. We've got the Heart Walk, a number of other things this weekend, so just do be prepared for some rain out there.
Well, sounds so great. Well, yesterday, Compassion took center stage at the Carthage Technical Center. FCCLA members are creating handmade hearts and care baskets for families with babies in the NICU at Mercy and Freeman hospitals. The Passion Project reminds parents their Carthage community stands with them during their difficult time.
It's very cool, all the things that they do for some of those babies that are in need, and to help kind of boost the parents' moods as well.
Yeah, and it's kind of great to have the students be aware of that issue as well.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this morning. We're back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.